Hello friends, today's topic is infarction. So what is infarction? Infarction is nothing but the localized area of ischemic necrosis in an organ or a tissue resulting from reduction of arterial blood supply or sometimes a venous drainage. It is a process of tissue necrosis resulting from circulatory insufficiency. Most commonly, infarction is caused by interruption in the arterial blood supply is called as ischemic necrosis. Less commonly, venous obstruction can produce the infarct is termed as a stagnant hypoxia. See what happened? Arterial blood supply is interrupted because of a thrombosis or because of any atheromatous plug is formed in the arterial lumen, which causes end result is the necrosis, which is a ischemic necrosis which may lead to a infarction, and in the venous obstruction it is called as a stagnant hypoxia.
Generally, sudden, complete and continuous occlusion by a thrombosis and embolism. In case of a coronary artery occlusion just because of thrombosis and embolism, what happen here? The complete occlusion of a lumen of a coronary artery can causes decreased oxygen supply and blood supply to the myocardial muscle, which lead to the myocardial infarction. Second example is the torsion of vessel. In case of testicular twisting of a vessel that lead to a decreased oxygen supply to the organ may goes into a necrotic changes is the other example. Third example is a traumatic rupture. In case of that anterior compartment syndrome, if we see that is the big anterior tibial muscle outside of a shin gets swollen within a sheath, causes increase pressure within an elding anterior compartment of leg, and because of pressure that causes the obstruction of a venous blood flow may cause further swelling and increased pressure, and because of this a resultant ischemia is formed. When this ischemia is continuous goes into the necrotic changes, we call it as a infarction. This is the other example, and the last is the non-occlusive coronary artery insufficiency. In that case, a cerebral infarction is occur.
According to color, there are two types of infarction: pale infarction and red infarction. Pale infarction is also called as a anemic, and red infarction is also called as a hemorrhagic infarction. Depending upon the age, infarction is a recently formed, or it is a previously, or it is a old, or it is a healed up. So these are again two types: recent or fresh infarction and old or healed infarction. Presence or absence of infection may divided into infarction into septic and blunt infarction. When the infarction is with the infection, this is the septic infarction, and when it is bacterial free contamination, so that time a blunt infarction is there. The process of infarction is formed by the localized hyperemia first. Due to local anosmia occurs immediately after the obstruction of blood supply. For example, if it is any coronary artery is there, and because of a thrombosis, the occlusion in the coronary arterial lumen, and because of this there is a complete lack of oxygen supply to particular part, that causes local hyperemia first. Then edema and the hemorrhages within a few hours of a affected part get swollen and a hemorrhagic. The amount of hemorrhages is variable, being more marked if we see in the lung and the spleen. As compared to that, it is less in case of a kidney and the heart. And then after that, the cellular changes, just like a cloudy swelling, degeneration appear early, while the death of cell is formed within 1 day. We call it as a 12 hours to up to the 24 hours. So in this process, the necrosis is formed. Now, a progressively proteolytic necrotic tissue or a lysis of blood is formed. See what happened in during that process, the hematodine, hemasiderin is liberated just because of lysis of RBC and deposited in the infarct. And with this, the acute inflammatory reaction and the hyperemia is also formed. So the surrounding tissue get into a proteolytic response and a proteolysis is a in process. So it means what? Because of proteolytic enzyme, there is a lysis of RBC is formed, and because of the process of this lysis, hemolysis, the pigmentation is liberated. So it means what? HB is break down into hemosiderin and hematidine, and progressive in growing of a granulation of a tissue. This tissue, that's deposition of this fibrous scar is formed, and dystrophic calcification is occur sometimes.
Now we see the pathological changes. Grossly, the impact of a solid organ is a wedge shape. Apex is pointed towards the occulted artery. Wide base on the surface of organ. The infarct due to the arterial occlusion is mostly a pale. We see in the two types of according to color, we see the two types of infarction. First is a pale. Now see, because of arterial occlusion, whatever is the infarct is formed is a pale in color, and whenever there is a venous obstruction, that is a red in color or a hemorrhagic infarction is formed. So most commonly a pale color is later as a RBC are lysed. But in case of a pulmonary infarction, the pale color is never come just because of excessive amount of blood is present in the lung, and because of this, so lung is having a hemorrhagic infarction. Cerebral infarct is poorly defined with the central softening. See here the central softening is seen. This is called as a cephalomalacia. How we define the recent infarct with the old infarct? If we see the recent infarct, it is a slightly elevated over the surface, and in case of old infarct, which is sunken, depressed, and the under surface of the organ. Microscopically, pathognomic cytological changes in all the infarction is mostly the coagulative necrosis of the affected area of a tissue or an organ. But exception is only the cerebral infarction where the liquefactive necrosis is seen. You learn this in necrosis. Now we see the what are the inflammatory reaction is takes place during the infarction. As we know, the neutrophils are the first fighter cells which are initially comes predominantly, and then later the macrophages come and the fibroblast is appear at the end. Eventually the necrotic area is replaced by a fibrous scar tissue may shows a dystrophic calcification. In a cerebral infarct, the liquefactive necrosis is followed by a gliosis, that is replacement by the microglial cells distended by a fatty material, that is glitter cell, which is called. infarction of different organ, when we see the myocardial infarction is a pale in color just because of there is a obstruction of a coronary artery, and because of this the complete blood supply of a myocardium is become stop, and because of this that may be a frequently a lethal in case of pulmonary infarction. It is a hemorrhagic in appearance, and that's why we call it as a red infarct. It is less commonly affected just because of lung is having a dual blood supply. That's why it is less commonly fatal. Cerebral infarction, it is depending upon the which artery get uh, occluded. It may be a hemorrhagic or it may be a pale in color, so it is fatal in a massive because the for the fraction of minute, if a brain doesn't have a blood supply, that causes into the brain death. Intestinal infarction, it is a hemorrhagic in nature just because of it's having a parallel blood supply in the intestine, but it is frequently lethal. Renal infarction, it is again pale in infarction. It's a pale color, pale type of infarction. It is lethal unless if it is a massive occlusion is there or a bilateral occlusion is there. If it is a bilateral occlusion is there, that time we say a patient may died because of renal infarction, but it is lessly in common. Infarct of spleen, it is a pale in color, again not lethal. Infarct of liver, again pale in color, not lethal. Infarction of lower extremity, pale and not lethal, but pain is severe in the lower extremities. Thank you.